The long wait is finally over. From the tiger-striped bikini of Urusei Yatsura to the insanity of Monster Musume, Japanese creators have long since looked at the page and asked themselves the age-old question: how many hot girls can I shove in this story? Most anime fans know how harem anime tends to go, with one main guy and a bunch of girls vying for his affection. And they are also familiar with some of its more annoying tropes, like what I call the fake harem, where we all pretend we don't know who the winner is. It's usually the tsundere or the first girl who isn't the childhood friend we meet. It can be the childhood friend, but only if they were separated while they were young. The tropey nature, which is so ingrained that almost all of you know what I meant when I said tsundere, though I'll throw the definition on screen to not confuse those who don't know what it is. The protagonists whose personalities make bread taste spicy, and the absolute agony of edging out the plot for as long as monetarily viable, because the moment anyone starts dating, the story is legally obligated to end. Slowly though, we have been getting anime that go out of their way to break these molds. Kanojo mo Kanojo, or girlfriend, just has the characters give polygamy a try. Kaguya-sama did not end the moment the main couple kissed. A third example. But now the wait is over, because the ultimate harem anime came out this season, and fittingly enough, it's a satirical comedy. If you heard the name Kimi no Koto ga Dai Daisuke na 100 nin no Kanojo, or the 100 girlfriends who really love you, I'd be surprised if you didn't immediately figure out what the plot was. The premise is actually quite simple. It's a story of a fan base watching in morbid curiosity as the mangaka slowly builds up to having 101 active characters in a weekly manga. As of time of writing, we are on 27. Oh wait, no, that's just the premise of the fan base. The story is about Aijō Rentarō, the most selfless, greedy person ever. Fresh off the heels of his 100th confession rejection, Rentarō meets the love god, who reveals to him that, due to a clerical error caused by a really good Studio Ghibli movie, he's about to have his pick of the litter because while he's in high school, he's going to meet his 100 soulmates. And as we digest that information, a cursor slides up the screen to skip to his first day of school. Yeah, the story makes it pretty clear you shouldn't take it too seriously from the get-go. Rentarō doesn't even get to his first class before he meets his first two girlfriends, the tsundere and the horny one. In case you're wondering, yes, those are the simplest ways to describe them. Unfortunately, Rentarō can't really choose between his soulmates, for they are his soulmates, and so he loves them all equally, and his heart is just so full of it, which explains why he's had 100 confessions since he was 8 months old. Also, as it turns out, if you don't get together with your soulmate, you die. The solution? Simple. Date them all. That poor boy. Oh, that poor boy. But on a serious note, Rentarō is just the guy to do it, because he's just so incredibly greedy that he does want all 100 girlfriends. And not only does he want them, he wants them all to be happy while being with him and will go out of his way to do so, on pain of death. And on the other hand, he is so selfless that he will sacrifice life, limb, and logic to make them all happy. Much like girlfriend, the easiest way to make a guy deciding to date multiple girls at once palatable to the audience is to make it as little about his own desires as possible. Though those desires still must exist, or we just get annoyed with him for dating them for no reason of his own. Rentarō's feats of romance are nothing to scoff at. They are so baffling and actually well thought out that you can almost believe that he could in fact convince multiple girls to date him at once. And good thing, because otherwise we wouldn't have a story. There is a reason one of the most common jokes in the fanbase is that everyone wants to be his girlfriend. Because the love god told him about everything that was going to happen and even the feeling of zing that will happen, he basically knows who his soulmates are from the moment they make eye contact. So he has no time to be a dense MC because he's too busy being emotionally available and mature. I can actually look at him and believe he could convince any of these girls he's a worthwhile partner, and he doesn't even need to save them from mortal danger to do so. While Rentarō has the stock niceness one must expect from most harem protagonists, he has a level of eagerness all of its own and an identifiable sly nature, be it in teasing his girlfriends or making them see something they are being too emotionally hung up to notice. It's amusing how well he can slip from the role of the straight man to the role of the craziest person on their roof. And so begins the story of finding the 100 girlfriends who really love him. And if you think convincing several girls to date you at the same time is absurd, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Shit! Hayasee's down! Retreat! Oh damn it, we're losing her!
Obviously, comedy is subjective. But if you like absurd convoluted situations, fourth wall breaks, references, and this boob punch, I say you should give it a try. As for the girls, they aren't bad. In fact, they're pretty good. As you can imagine from a story that promises 100 unique girlfriends and is introducing them in relatively quick succession, they are kind of tropey. Maybe not the first tropes you'd imagine. I mean, Kusuri basically exists to facilitate more absurdity, even though mad scientist probably isn't at the forefront of your expectations. The anime has fun with it though, because it's not enough that they fall into the trope. They unabashedly follow the trope to its extreme. It's not enough that the cool, smart beauty is smart. She's practically a robot obsessed with efficiency. And her name is AI, spelled like this. And there is a reason I call the dere or love-struck girl the horny one. One thing the story does have going for it is how well it explores those tropes and how they affect the girls. Like how being a tsundere makes Karane insecure about her ability to express herself and also makes it impossible for her to keep a secret. Or the shy and cute Shizuku's crippling social anxiety and inability to speak. And as the story goes along, it goes a lot more in depth as we get to know the characters, but it never forgets that it's a comedy. It's just willing to take a breath to treat the characters seriously when it needs to and give them genuine heartfelt moments so we actually care about them. And when it wants to, it will spin those tropes around for even more comedy. It helps that the girls do have defined relationships with each other and not just Rentarō. That really builds into the whole Rentaro's family name. Not every relationship is as deep as the other, but they are there to be noticed. And with the main character who is irrecoverably head over heels for the rest of the cast, the anime will try and make you see the best in all the girls. Which is for the best, because if you talk badly about his girlfriends, Rentarō will probably crawl out of the screen and punch you. Speaking of things that would piss him off, maybe it's because it's animated or maybe it's because I can't remember the beginning of the story exactly, but I do not remember the fan service being this wild. Makes me wonder how far they are willing to go as more characters get introduced. If you think the horny one is bad, wait until we meet the hornier one. The animation and art style are really good and sells you on just all the emotions and how beautiful the girls are, especially from Rentaro's point of view. I can tell you as a manga reader that the anime so far has just barely scratched the true depths of this story's insanity, and frankly, it only gets better from here. And it's already pretty good now. I fully recommend it if you like comedy, romance, and harem anime. It also says something about the quality of the writing and the importance of us caring for the characters, that even though it's a satirical take on the genre, it can still hold its own as a genuine story without relying purely on that idea. What are your thoughts on 100 Girlfriends? Can you even imagine trying to deal with that? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and good day.